Hey YouTube, I'm Kishan, and in this video we'll be designing this beautiful responsive React travel agency template. I'll give you a demo of this. So there is our navbar. We have hover effects here. On clicking the links, we'll go to that section. Then we have this animation. You can see that. This is ScrollReveal animation. Then we have our hero section here. Here we can type the location. Then we can have the dates. We have this hover animation here for the button. Then we have our services. It also has the hover animation. Then we have some destinations here. We can change the section from here. This also have the hover animation. Then we have our testimonials here. And this is our navbar. This is scroll to top. As you can see, that animation works in a loop. I'll show you the responsive version. So this is the mobile version. We have this responsive navbar here. This also has the animation. You can see that the hamburger is changed here. I'll increase the size. This is the tablet version. This is the small laptops. So I'll close it. So without wasting any further time, let's get started to create this beautiful template. So now we'll start to set up our React template. So I'll open a new terminal by Ctrl+tilde. Okay. You can also open the terminal from here. I'll type npx create react app and the name of the React application. In my case, it is Travello. I'll hit enter. It will set up our basic React application. Depending upon your network, it may take time. I'll skip this part. Okay, so our React application has been completely set up. So now I'll move over to that directory by cd and the name of our React application. Now I'll add some packages by yarn add. Then we need React icons for the icons. We need styled components library for style. And we need ScrollReveal for the animations. Then hit enter. Okay, so the libraries have been added. Now I'll open this. Inside the source, we don't need this app.css. We also don't need this app.test.js. We don't need this logo. We don't need this report web vitals and setup.test. We'll delete this. And inside the app.js file, we'll delete all this code and write rfc. And here we'll write hello. If you haven't installed the shortcut for this component creation, you can do that by here in the extensions. You can install this ES7 React Redux graphical snippets. Okay, I'll close this. And inside the index.js, we don't need this, and we also don't need this. We'll delete this, and now I have this assets folder here. You can find this in the description of the video. I'll move this into the source folder. Okay, it has been moved, and now I'll start the React application by opening the terminal and typing yarn start. I close this. I'll wait for the application to start. So the application has been started. Now I'll go to my VS Code. So now we'll set up our basic files for the application. We'll create a folder named as components. Inside this, we'll create our components. First is navbar.jsx. We'll write RFC here. Then we'll create a hero.jsx for our starter section. I'll again write RFC to create the component. Then we have the services. Again write the RFC command here. Then we have the recommend section. Write RFC. Then we have our testimonials section. Repeat the process for RFC for creating the component. Then we have our footer. And at the last we have the scroll to top. Okay, now head over to the app.js file, and inside here we'll delete this div and we'll just use the React fragments. Here first we'll import the scroll to top component. Then we need the navbar. We need our hero. We need the services after this. Then we need the recommend section. And then the testimonials. And at last we have our footer. We'll save this and see if there are any errors. No, there aren't. Then we'll move to index.css, and here we'll delete this to properties, and we'll change the margin here. We'll give it 1 rem of top and bottom and 2 rem of left and right. Then we'll use the star selector to select all the elements and give it a margin of 0 and a padding of 0. Then we'll select the box sizing and give it border box. We'll save this, and also we'll select the HTML tag and give it a scroll behavior of smooth. Okay, that's done. We'll delete this code. Save this. So our basic setup has been done. So now let's start styling our navbar. So now head over to this navbar.jsx. Here first we'll import the styled from styled components. Then we need the logo from our assets. It's logo from assets, and the file name is logo.png. Okay, so now here we'll use the fragments again. Now we'll write const and nav is equals to styled dot nav. It's nav in the small. we'll come here and write our nav. Inside nav, first we have our brand, then you can use the emit snippets by writing the dot and the name of the class. So it will create a div. Then here we'll use the emit snippet again by typing img and tab. It will auto create the tag. Here we'll use the logo and write the name of traveler. Then we have a toggle. We'll leave this empty here for now and use this while we'll be styling the template as responsive. So now we have our UL. Inside UL we have li, and inside li we have our a tag. Here we'll write the home, and inside we'll write home. We'll copy this by Ctrl C, paste this 4 times. So here we'll write services, and here we write places, and here we'll write recommend. This is for the scrolling to that section. Here we'll write testimonials. Same goes for here. Testimonials. We'll say this, and after the UL we have our button with connect as the text. So our basic structure is done. Let's go to the template. Here you can see that our structure is here. Now let's style this. So I'll open the VS Code as half so you can see what we are styling. So in here, first we'll give it a display of flex. It's flex. So everything is in a straight direction. Then we'll give of justify content of space between. So everything has spaces in between, and we'll give it a align items of center. Okay, that's done. Now we'll select the brand. Inside the brand we have our container, and inside the container first we'll give it a cursor of pointer. So when we hover over here we have our pointer. Then we'll give it a display of flex and justify content of center. So everything is in line. Then we'll also give it a align items of center and a gap of 0.4 rem to have space in between. Now we'll give it a font size of 1.2 rem. So our font size is increased. We'll give it a font weight of 900 to bold things out. Okay. Then we'll also give it a text transform of uppercase. Okay, that's done. So now we'll select the toggle from here, and initially we'll give it a display of none. Okay, so our brand is styled. We'll select the UL and we'll give it a display of flex. So it is in one line now. We'll remove the bullets by list style type of none. So the bullets are removed. Now we'll give it a gap of 1 rem to have spaces in between. Now inside here we'll select the li, and inside the li we want to select the a, and give it a text decoration first. Text decoration of none to remove the lines from here. Then we need to give it a color. We'll give it a hexadecimal color of 0077B6. Save it. Colors have been applied. We'll give it a font size of 1.2 rem. Font size of 1.2 rem has been increased. Now we'll give it a transition for the hover effect. Transition of 0.1 second is in out, and when we hover over it, we need to change the color to 023E8A. We'll save this, and when we hover over here, you can see that colors are being changed. Now what we'll do is we'll select the first of this type, the first li, first of type, and inside we have the A, and we'll give it a color of the same as we have given to the hover, 023E8. Oh, I'm very sorry for that. You can see that our first one's colors are changed. We'll also give it a font weight of 900. Okay, that is clearly visible. You can see that our hover effects are working. Now let's style this button. I'll move the VS Code to here. Select this. And now at the last we have our button. We'll first give it a padding of 0.5 rem of top and bottom and 1 rem of left and right. It's 0.5 rem. Now we'll give it a cursor of pointer, then we'll give it a border radius of 1 rem. Okay, we need to remove the border. We'll give it a none, border of none. We'll give it a color of white. It's white. And we'll also give it a background color of hexadecimal 48CAE4. Okay, color has been applied. We'll give it a text transform of uppercase. Then we'll give it a font size of 1.1 rem. We'll give it a letter spacing for the spacing between the letters of 0.1 rem. Okay, the button is styled. Now one thing, I'll just maximize this. Okay, that's done. Now we'll give it a transition of 0.3 seconds is in out, 0.3 seconds. We'll give it a hover effect, background color of 023E8. Let's hover this. Okay, the colors are changing. Okay, so I think our navbar is done. Yeah, our navbar has been styled. Let me open the completed template. Okay, so I have opened the template. Yeah, everything is identical. We need to write about instead of services, but that's okay. Okay, so our navbar is complete. Now we'll create and style this navbar hero section. So now let's go to our VS Code. I'll maximize this. Open the Explorer and we'll go to the hero.jsx, and here first we'll import the style from style components. Then we'll import the home image from assets hero dot png. Save this, and now here we'll create a style section is equals to style dot section. Now we'll replace this divs with the section, and we'll give it a ID of hero. This ID is for the on clicking here we have to scroll to that section. For that, now we'll create a div of background with a class name of background, and here we'll write image with a source of the home image. Save this, and after this we have a div with the class name of content. Inside content we have another div with the class name of title. Inside that we have h1. We'll give it travel to explore. We'll save this, and after this we have the p paragraph tag, and we'll copy this text, paste this here. After this div we have another div with a class name of search. Inside that we have a container class name div. Inside that we have an label. This would be where you want to go. After that we have an input. It would be text, and placeholder would be search your location. We'll copy this container and we'll paste it 2 times. Here we'll change the type to date, and we'll remove this placeholder. Okay, and here we'll write check in, and here we'll write checkout. We'll write check out. Save this. Let's see here. Okay, where is the content? Okay, it's here. Now we also have a button after this. So after this div, container div, we have a button with text explore. It's explore now. Save this. Okay, so our markup is done. Now let's style this. So now what we'll do is, first we'll give this a position of relative, this whole div, because we need to bring this text over this image like this. So we'll give this image a position of absolute. So let's do that. First we'll write position relative, then we'll give it a margin of top of 2rem. Okay, let me minimize this so you can see it here. Yeah, so I'll just comment this. So we don't have the margin, now we have the margin. Now I'll give it a width of 100%. We'll give it a height of 100% as well. So it would take the height and width from its parent, which is app.jsx. Now we'll give it a background class. Inside we have our image, and we'll give the image a width. It's width of 100%, and we'll give it a filter of brightness, which would be of 60%. You can see that filter has been applied. Let's give this a height of 100% as well. That doesn't do anything, but it's good to give the div a height. Then we have the content class. We'll give the content of height of 100% and the width of 100% as well. Now what we'll do is we'll give this a position of absolute and give it a top of 0. You can see that it has been shifted from here to here. Now what we need to do is we'll give it a z index of 3, just to make sure that it is top of everything. Now we'll give it a text align of center, so text has been aligned as center. Now we'll give it a display of flex direction of column, and justify content as center to center things out. You can see that it is in the center of the div. Now we'll also give it a align items of center, and we'll give it a gap of 1 rem. Now inside this we have our title class. It's title. Inside the title we'll give first a color of white. Save this. You can see that our color here is changed to white. Now we'll select the H1 and give it a font size of 3 rems. Okay, it has been enlarged, and we'll give it a letter spacing of 0.2 rem. Oh, need to remove this. Okay, letter spacing has been also applied. Now we'll select the p tag and give it a text align of center. We'll give it the padding of 0 to top and bottom, and 30 viewport width to left and right. Okay, now we'll give it a margin top of 0.5 rems. I need to remove this. Okay, and we'll give it a font size of 1.2 rems. Yeah, that's good. Now after this we'll select the search class and give it a display of flex and background color as well. Let's apply the flex first. Let's comment this and apply flex. So you can see that everything is here in one line. Now we'll give it a background color. Background color would be FF, and CE. See this. Now we'll give it a padding of 0.5 rem in all the directions. Again this mistake. Okay, the padding has been applied. Now what we'll do is we'll give it a border radius of 0.5 rem as well. 0.5 rem. Now we'll select the container class inside this and give it a display of flex, align items of center, and a justify content of center. Okay, now we'll give it a flex direction of column. Yeah, that's perfect. Now let's give a padding of 0 and 1.5 rem to left and right. Yeah, that's good. Now what we'll do is we'll select the label and give it a font size of 1.1 rem. It's 1.1 rem, and we'll give it a color of hexadecimal 03045E. Save this. Is the color applied? Yeah, the color has been applied. Now we'll select the input. We'll give it a background color of transparent. We'll give it a border of none. See this? You can see that default styling for the input has been removed. Now we'll select the text align property of center. Also we'll give it a color of black. Now what we need to do? Yeah, we'll select the input type of date by this selector. Now we'll give it a padding left of 3 rem. So it would look like that it is in center. Now what we'll do is we'll have another pseudo selector which is placeholder. We need only 2 columns here and give it a color of black. Sorry for that, we need to give color of black. Yeah, that's good. Okay, what happened? Yeah, that's good. And we also need to give it a focus, and we'll remove the outline when we have focus. Before saving this, I'll show you that we are gonna remove this outline when we have focus. So I'll save this, and now when I'll select this, there is no focus, as you can see here. For this, there are no focus also. That's done. Now let's select the button 1, 2, 3, and now the button. First we'll give the button of padding of let me switch VS Code to the left side. Yeah, we'll give it a padding of 1 rem. That's good. We'll give it a cursor of pointer. Now we'll give it a border radius of 0.3 rem. We don't need a border, so we'll remove by border none. We'll give it a color of white. We'll switch the background color to 4361EE. Yeah, that's good. We'll give it a font size of 1.1 rem. We'll give it a text transform of uppercase. That's good. And we'll also give it a transition of 0.3 seconds is in out. It's 0.3 seconds. Now when we hover, we need to change the background color to 023E8A. Save this and head over to your browser. Now you can see that everything has been applied. You can see that everything is similar here. Okay, so yeah, our hero section has been completed. Now we'll do the services section. So now head over to your VS Code and open .services.jsx. Here I have already imported the style components and the services images. Now I have already created this data array which has an object, multiple objects of the services. You can get this from the GitHub link from the description, or you can type in yourself. Okay, so now let's create a styled component which would be section. Save this, and here we'll replace this div with the section. Save this, and inside the section what we'll do is first let's give this an ID of services. Now we'll write a curly braces and write data.map, and inside we need the service, and this would be an arrow function. We'll return the markup from here by mapping. Here we have an service div. Inside we have a div with icon class name. Inside the icon we'll have our image with the source of service dot icon. That would be this, which is imported from here. Okay, so now after this div we have an h3. Inside the h3 we have the service dot title, and we have an p tag which would be having service dot subtitle. Save this and head over to the browser. Okay, our content is here. Now let's style this. So again I'll do this. Now first we'll give it a padding of 5 rem of top and bottom and left and right of 0. Now we'll have a grid and we'll give it a grid template columns of repeat 4 of 1 frame rate. Sorry, it's FR. Okay, so our grid is successfully created. Now we'll give it a gap of 1 rem. Save this. Now we'll have the service class and give it a display of flex direction of column and a gap of 1 rem. That's good. Now we'll give it a padding of 2 rem and we'll give it the background color of Alice blue. Yeah, you can see that background color is here. Now we'll give it a box shadow of RGBA 100, 100, 111 and 0.2. Save this. We have 0 pixels, 7 pixels, and we have 29 pixels and 0 pixels again. Yeah, our box shadow is here. Now we'll give it a transition of 0.3 seconds is in out. Save this, and now we have our over. We'll give it a transform. Sorry, it's transform, and we'll translate. Sorry again for that. Translate X would be 0.4 rem and translate Y of -1 rem. Save this and let's hover over this. You can see that effect is here. Now we'll also give it a box shadow to give the 3D effect. Box shadow of RGBA 0, 0, 0 and 0.35, 0 pixels, 5 pixels and 15 pixels. Save this. Where did I go wrong? Yeah. Okay, we have our box shadow as well. Now let's select the icon from here. Icon, select the image and we'll give it a height of 2.4 rem. Save this and you can see that our changes have been applied. So our services section is complete. You can see that both are the same here. Okay, so now let's create this destination section. So now we'll go to the recommend section, the recommend component. Here I have already imported this images style component and this info images. Now I have also created this data array of objects. You can get this from the link in the description of the GitHub. or you can just copy paste this. We also have this packages array here, which is an array of strings. Okay, now head over to the top, and after this React will also import useState, and here at the bottom we'll write const active and set active is equals to useState of, and the value will be 1. And now at the bottom here we'll write const section is equals to styled dot section. See this, and we'll replace this div with section, and inside the section first we'll have the title div. Okay, we also have to give here an ID of recommend. Inside the title div we have an h2 of recommend destinations. After this div we have an div with class name of packages. Inside that we have an UL, and here we'll be using the map method on the packages array. We'll destructure the package and the index. Now we'll return an li. Okay, it has not been auto completed. Okay, the content would be the package here. Save this, and now what we'll do is we'll give it a class name of if the active equal to index plus 1. I'll just explain this afterwards, and we'll apply active if it is of index, or we'll just give it a null class name. And now we'll also have an on click event. If it is clicked, we'll set active and we'll give it index plus 1. See this? Okay. It's here. Okay, so we'll just complete the markup first, and I'll explain this later onwards what I've done here. Now we also have a destinations div, and here we'll again use the map method on the data array. We'll destructure the destination from here. We'll return a div of destination. Inside it first we have an image, and the image would have the destination dot image. Here we'll write destination image. Okay, so after the image we have an h3. After that we have an let's complete the h3 first. In here we have destination dot title. Now we have an p tag. Inside that we have an destination dot subtitle. Use this, and now we have an info div. Inside info we have an services div. We will place our info images here. Info1. I'll copy this by Ctrl C and paste it 2 times, and just replace the image name here, info2 and info3. Now after the services div we have an h4, which would have destination dot cost. Okay, that's done. Now after this div is closed, we have another div with a class name of distance. Inside that we have a span, and here we'll write a static content 100 kilometers, and after that we have a span which has the destination dot duration. Okay, so our markup is complete. You can see that all the images and everything has been loaded here. Now let's go to our section here, the style components. Let's give it a padding of 2 rem and 0. Let me show this. Okay, so the padding has been applied here. Now we'll select the title and give it a text align. Sorry for that. We have a text line of center. Okay, our text is aligned. Now we'll select dot packages. Inside we have display of flex, justify content of center, margin of 2 rem of top and bottom. Okay, you can see that here. Now we'll have this UL, give it a display of flex, justify, no, we don't need to justify it. We'll give it a list style type of none. Save this. Okay, you can see that here. Now we'll give it a width of max content, then we'll give it a li and padding 1 rem to the top and bottom and 2 rem to left and right. That's done. Now we'll give it a border bottom, not border radius, we'll give it a border bottom of 0.1 rem solid black color. Save this. Okay, the borders are here. Now we'll select the active class and give it a border bottom of 0.5 rem solid with a color of hexadecimal 8338 EC. I'm sorry, it's 8. Save this. And now what happened here? Did we apply the active here? ACTIVE. Let me click this or reload this. Still the classes are not here. Okay, I made a mistake here. Okay, as you can see that classes are applied. So now it is toggleable and the borders are changing. So now I'll just explain that logic. Okay, so what I did here was I just gave it a class name and I gave it a class name, and it is only applied when the active active number which is we used in the state is equal to that index, and if not, we'll give it an empty class. And also when we click on this li, we want to set active to that number of li. So you can see that here. Okay, so that's done. Now let's style this destinations. Now after 3 of this, we'll write destinations. Let me do this, destinations, and we'll give it a display of grid, a grid template columns, grid template columns of repeat 3 and 1 FR. You can see that we have a grid of 3 items per column. Now we'll give it a gap of 3 rem. We'll give it a padding of 0 of top and bottom and 3 rem of left and right. Okay, that's good. Now let's select the destination inside the destinations, and here we'll write a padding of 1 rem first. Then we'll give it a display of flex direction of column, and gap of 0.5 rem between all the items. Okay, that's done. Now first let's do the image correct. We'll give it a width of 100%. Yeah, that's good. Our images are styled. We need to fix this also. Okay, so inside the info we have the services, and inside the services we have the image, and we'll give it width of 2 rems. Yeah, now that's fixed. Well, if the image are not being displayed, it's because of the color. We'll style this later. First we'll complete after this. What we'll do is we'll give it a background color of 8338 TC14. Save this. Okay, the colors are here. Also you can see that there are white images here. Now we have to give border radius of 1 rem. Now we'll give it a transition of 0.3 seconds is in out. Now we'll have an hover. We'll give it a transform, and we'll give it a translate X of 0.4 rem and translate Y of -1 rem. Save this. We'll just do this here. It's not applied. Okay, we need to correct this. Still not applied. Where did we go wrong? Let's give it a box shadow also. RGB 0000 and 0.35 of A, 0 pixels, 5 pixels and 15 pixels. Save this. Okay, so our hover effect is working but not a chart. We need to fix this. Yeah, that should work now. Okay, but the transition is not working. It should work now. Yeah, there is a smooth effect now. Okay, so now we'll come to this info. We'll give it a display of flex, align items of center. Yeah, that's good. Now we'll select the services, give it a display of flex and a gap of 0.3 rem between all the images. Now we'll select this image, we'll give it a border radius of 1 rem, and a background color would be of hexadecimal 4D2DDB84. See this? Yeah, images are visible now. Now we'll also give it the padding of 0.3 rem and 0.4 rem. Why didn't that work? Okay, we need to give padding, not pad. Okay, the images are visible clearly now. Now we'll go to here, we'll give it a display of flex and justify content of space between. Yeah, it's clear. Now let's tell this distance diff. We'll go here, and after this we'll select the distance. We'll give it a display of flex and justify content of space between. Yeah, that's styled. Our destinations are styled, and that's complete. Now we'll do this testimonials section. Okay, so now we'll head over to the VS Code, maximize this, and now we'll open the testimonials.jsx. Here we'll import styled from styled components. Let's see, style components. Yeah, now we need to import avatar image from assets and avatar image.jpg. Save this. Let's copy the section from here. We don't want to write again. Copy and paste, and here, yeah, that's done. Now here we'll replace this section. Here we'll first have the title, and inside it we have happy customers. Now we have an testimonials div. Now we'll create a for loop here. We need to have the curly braces. Yeah, for okay, let's remove this, and so now we'll have an testimonial div. Inside that, first we have an p tag. Let's copy the content of p from here. Okay, so we need to refresh this. Yeah, what's happening here? Okay, yeah, we need to refresh it again. Yeah, it's working fine now. We copy this, paste it here, and now we'll have an info. Inside info we have an image tag. Image source would be the avatar image. Save this. After this we have details. Inside details we have an h4 with my name, and I'll give it a designation of CEO at Shashan Web Solutions. Save this. Now what we'll do is we'll copy this 2 times. Where is the div ending? Yeah, it's this div. We'll copy this and we'll paste it 2 times. There is some error here. Okay, we need to copy this again till here, paste it 2 times, save this, and let's see if it is here. Yeah, that's here. Let's style this now. We'll go to this section here, and first we'll give it a margin. Let me do that. Yeah, margin of 5 rem of top and bottom, 5 rem, and 0 of left and right. Now let's select the image first. Testimonials. Inside testimonial we have testimonial. Inside testimonial we have the info. Inside the info we have the image, and we'll give it a height of 3 rem. Okay, so image is shortened. Now let's give it a border radius as well of 3 rem. Okay, it's circle. Now we'll go to here and we'll have a title, and we'll give it a text align of center and margin bottom of 2 rem. See this, Okay, it's title. Okay, our title is here. Now we'll go to this testimonials, and inside this we'll give it a display of flex, justify content of center, and we'll give it a margin of 0, margin of 0 of top and bottom, and 2 rem of left and right. Okay, that's done. Now also give a gap of 2 rem. Okay, that's done. Now let's give it a background color to the testimonial. Background color, and the background color would be Alice blue. Okay, the color is applied, and now let's give it a padding of 2 rem. We'll give a border radius of 0.5 rem. Okay, we need to remove this ch. Okay, the border radius has been, is it applied? Yes, it has been applied. It's very small. Then we'll give it a box shadow. Box shadow will be RGBA 100, 100, 111 and 0.2 and 0 pixels, 7 pixels, 29 pixels and 0 pixels. See this? Okay, box shadow is there. Now we'll give it a transition of 0.3 seconds is in out, and we'll apply an hover effect. Let's copy the hover effect from recommend. These both are same. It's applied. Should be 0.3 seconds the transition. Okay, that's good. Now inside this info we'll give it a display of flex, and we'll justify content of center. We'll apply a gap of 1 rem. Then we'll give it a align items. Align items of center, and we'll give it a margin of top of 1 rem. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now after the image we'll have the details. We'll select the span here and give it a font size of 0.9 rem. 0.9. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's see from here. Yeah, these both are identical. So now our testimonials are completed. Let's create the footer now. So now head over to the VS Code. I'll maximize this and go to the footer.jsx. Here, now we'll import the style from the style components. We also need icons. So from React icons, and this would be from BS. Copy this, paste this, and this would be from AI. So here we need BS LinkedIn, and we need BS Facebook. Now we will also import AI fill Instagram. Now we'll create a styled component, const footer container is equals to style dot footer. Save this, and here we'll write footer container. Save this, and inside this we first have a span of copyright and ampersand copy 2021 traveler, rights reserved. Then we have an UL. Inside UL we have an LI, then we have an A. We can do one thing, we can copy this from the Navbar. So we'll go to Navbar, and from here we'll copy this links, this one, yeah, we'll copy this UL, we'll go to the footer, we'll replace this with links, yeah, that's done. Now we have an UL with a class name of social links. Let's give it a class name also with this UL. We'll give it a class name of links, and here we have 3 LIs. Inside the LIs we'll place our icons. First is BS Facebook, then we have BS LinkedIn, and then we'll have our AI Instagram, AI fill Instagram. Save this. Okay, so our markup is done. Yeah, everything is ready. Now we just have to style this. So now we will style this, and we'll give it a display of flex first. Then we'll justify content with a space evenly property. We'll give it a background color of D08 and FF. I'm sorry, but it's D0D8FF. Okay. Then we have a padding of 2.5 rem and a border radius of 0.5 rem. Save this. Okay. Now we need to remove this, and now we'll select the UL, we'll give it a display of flex. Save this. Yeah, that's correct. We'll type list style type of none. Then we'll select LI, and inside LI we'll select the A and give it a text decoration. Sorry, text decoration of none. Have this side. We'll also give it a gap of 2 rem between all of these. Yeah. Then we'll give it a color of black. Then we'll give it a transition of 0.3 seconds is in out. We'll have the hover and give it a color of hexadecimal 302 CE9. Hover over this and check it. Yeah, it's working. Now we'll select the SVGs and give it a font size of 1.3 rem. We'll give it a transition of 0.3 seconds ease in out, and we'll just copy this and paste this. Okay, so we need to remove this MS from here, from both of these place. Save this. Okay, it is working. So I think our footer is complete. Yeah, our footer is complete now. So the most of the things in our template is complete. We now will style this scroll bar and will develop this scroll to top functionality. Also this would be working. Yeah. smooth scrolling is working. This home is not working. We need to fix that. Okay, it should be hero. Yeah, that's working. Okay, we need to fix that in Navbar also. In Navbar, we'll write this here, hero. Okay, that's working. So now head over to VS Code and maximize this and go to index.css. Okay, I'm sorry for that. We'll select it from here, index.css, and here what we'll do is we'll select the WebKit scroll bar, and here we'll give it the width of 0.6 rem and give it a background color of 1421 3D. Save this, and we can see the changes here that our scroll bar default styling is gone and there is a blackish blue color here. Now we'll select the thumb for that, WebKit scroll bar thumb, and we'll give it a background color of hexadecimal 4539E6. We'll save this. Yeah, our scroll bar is ready. Now we have to create that scroll to top. For that, we already created a component. Go to that. So here we'll import styled from style components. Then we need the logo from assets and logo.png. Save this, and now we'll create a styled component named as to top is equals to styled dot depth. We'll replace it with this to top, and now what we'll do is we'll also import useState. Save this, and here we'll create a state of scroll state, and we'll set scroll state is equals to useState and give it a false. Okay, it's messed up, but I'll fix that. That's good. So now inside this to top we'll have an image with the source of the logo. Here what we'll do is we'll also have a scroll state property with value as scroll state. This would be used in inside the style components for hiding and showing the icon. So now we'll go to this to top, and initially we'll give it a display of block. Let's make it dynamic. We'll use the props inside this. We'll destructure the scroll state and we'll write scroll state. If it's true, we'll give it a block, or if it's false, we'll give it a null. That's done. We have an error here. Okay, these brackets need to be curly. Okay, that's done. Now let's initially do this as true, and we'll give it a position of fixed. Let me show that to you here. Okay, also we'll give it a bottom of 1 rem and right of 2 rem. Right of 2 rem. Okay, you can see that the logo is here. We'll also give it a Z index of 10 so that it is always on top. Now we'll give it a cursor of pointer. So we have a pointer here now. Then we'll select the image and give it a height of 1.5 rem. Now we'll give it a border radius of 2 rem, a background color of hexadecimal 1900FF39. Save this and we'll give it a padding of 1 rem. Okay, so as you can see that our styling is done, but by clicking this the functionality won't be working, so we'll need to implement that. So now what we'll do is we'll have this as false first. So initially it's not visible. Now what we'll do is we'll add an event listener, window.add event listener on scroll event, and what we'll do is whenever the window.page y offset is greater than 200, then we'll set the scroll state to true, and if it's smaller than that, then we'll set the scroll state to false. Let's see if it's working. Yeah, it's working. You can see that it is becoming visible and hidden. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll create the functionality. When we click this, it would be redirected to the top of the page. For that, what we'll do is we'll create a function to top equals to, that would be an arrow function, and we'll write window dot scroll to top 0. Okay, and we also need to use this here whenever we click this div on click, then call to top. That should work now. Let's click here. Okay, it's working. So our scroll bar and scroll to top functionality is completed. Next we'll do responsiveness to this template. So now I'll switch over to the responsive mode in browser. You can do that by right clicking and clicking the inspect. We'll go to the mobile version. As you can see that everything is messed up here. We are going to fix this. So head over to the VS Code. First we'll go to the navbar.jsx. Now in the style component, at the end we'll write the media query, media screen and min width 280 pixels and the max width for applying this media query would be 1080 pixels. So what we'll do is whenever the screen size is between 280 pixels to 1080 pixels, these styles are going to apply. So we'll select brand, we'll give it a display of flex, justify content of space between, we'll give it align items of center, we'll give it a width of 100% and we'll write toggle and we'll have display of block. Save this. Okay, we will hide this UL in the button. We'll give it a display of none, NONE. Save this. Now you can see that the button and the links are hidden. Now we need this hamburger button to toggle the navbar, but we'll do that afterwards after everything is completed because it is a bit tricky. So let's move on to the hero section. So first we'll go to the navbar and copy this media query, and here in the hero section at the end we'll paste this, close the bracket, and here instead of 1080 pixels we'll write 980 pixels, and now we'll write height of 25 em. You can see that here. Then for the background we'll have the image and give it a height of 100%. Also this is gonna be the curly brackets, not the square brackets. Now we'll save this and the image is there. Now we'll have the content. Inside we have title. We'll select the H1 and we'll give it a font size of 1 rem. Then we'll select the P tag. We'll give it a font size of 0.8 rem and a padding of 1 viewport width. We'll remove this, save this. Yeah, that's good. Now we'll select the search. We'll give it a flex direction of column, padding of 0.8 rem, gap of 0.8 rem as well. We'll save this. Now we'll select the container inside this, and for the container we'll give it a padding of 0 to the top and bottom and 0.8 rem to left and right. Now we'll select the input and with the type of date. We'll give it a padding left of 1 rem instead of 3 rems. Then we'll select the button and give it a padding of 1 rem and a font size of 1 rem as well. Save this. You can see that it has been styled correctly. Now we'll head over to the services component, and here at the bottom we'll paste the media query again, and now it will be 720 pixels and max width would be, and here we'll write grid template columns of repeat, autofill, and a min max of 250 pixels and 1 FR. Save this. Yeah, it has been styled. So now what we'll do is we'll paste the media query again, and now it would be between 720 pixels to 1080 pixels. And now we'll write grid template columns repeat 2 and 1 FR. So when the screen is the size of iPad, we only have 2 in a column, 2 services in a column. Okay, that's done. Now head over to the destinations recommend component, and here at the last paste the media query again. Here we'll write 768 pixels and we'll write the packages ul li, and we'll give it a padding of 0 to the top and 0.5 rem to here. Yeah, that's good. Now we'll also give it a font size of 2 viewport height. Then we'll give it a padding bottom of 1 rem. Now we'll select the active and we'll reduce the border bottom width border bottom width, and we'll give it 0.3 rem. 0.3 rem. Yeah, the width has been decreased. Now we'll select the destinations and give it a grid template columns of 1 FR and a padding of 0. So everything would be stacked. Okay, destinations. That's good. Now the recommend section is complete. We'll head over to the testimonials. Inside the testimonials, at the end of our style component, we'll paste the media query again, and here we'll write 768 pixels, and inside it we'll write testimonials. We'll give it a flex direction of column, a margin of 0. Save that. Yeah, that's good. Let's style it further. We'll select the testimonial. Inside the testimonials, we'll justify content of center. We'll select the info div and give it a flex direction of column and a justify content of center. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, so all that's left is to style this footer and the navbar. So we'll head over to the footer, and at the end of our footer style component, we'll paste this. We'll write 1024 pixels here, and we'll give it a flex direction of column. Save that. Okay, then we'll give it a gap of 2 rem. We'll select the UL and give it a flex direction of column as well. Yeah, that's looking good. Then we'll select the social links class and give it a flex direction of row. Okay, that's good. So everything is styled here. You can see that if we increase the size, it is responsive. Yeah, it is responsive. So let's create this responsive navbar here. So we'll go to the navbar component, and at the top we'll import 2 icons here. That would be import from React icons. Inside GI we need GI hamburger menu. Again we'll import from React icons, this time inside VSC, and we'll need VSC Chrome close. Okay, now we'll also need useState hook. useState, and we'll create a state for maintaining the navbar state, and we'll set this function name as set navbar state equals to useState. Initially it would be false. Now here inside the toggle we left it blank first. Now we'll write the content here. We'll open the curly braces and write navbar state. If it is true, we'll have the VSC Chrome close, and if it is false, we have the GI hamburger menu. Okay, you can see that hamburger menu is here. Yeah, now what we'll do is we'll also have an on click here. On click, and whenever this is clicked, we'll set the navbar set as false. We'll copy this and we'll paste this inside the hamburger menu and write it through here. So whenever there is the hamburger menu displayed and when we click on it, the state would be set as 2. You can see that the icons are changing because of that. Now when we click this hamburger menu, we need to open and div of the links. So for that, what we'll do is we'll copy this UL, and after this now we'll create a responsive nav, and inside that we'll paste this and we'll pass a state here to maintain if it is open or close. Then inside the A tags we'll have an on click of set navbar state, on click set navbar state of false. So whenever any of the links is clicked, we want to close the navbar. Okay, we'll copy this. So what is error here? We need to figure that out. Okay, remove this. We'll just remove this for now. Okay, so an li is closed automatically here. We'll paste this here. We'll paste it in every links. Yeah, that's good. Now we'll create this responsive nav style component at the end. Const is equals to, this would be style div, style.div. Save this, so the error would go and our UL of responsive is displayed here. Now we'll give it a display of flex, position of absolute, we'll give it a z index of 1. Save this. Okay, it is tagged. Now first we'll select the UL inside this, we'll give it a list style type of none, then we'll give it a width of 100%. Save this. Now inside the li we'll give the width of 100% as well. We'll give it a margin of 1 rem top and bottom and 0. Then we'll give it a margin of left with 2 rem. Inside we have the A tag. For the A, we'll give it a text decoration of none. Let's do one thing, we'll give it a background color of white first. Background color white. Okay, so it's visible now. Let's give it a z index of 5. Okay, now it's on top. We'll give it the width of 100%. Okay, now here we'll have the color 0077B6. We'll give it a font size of 1.2 rem, transition of 0.1 second, ease in out, and when we hover over it, we want the color to be hexadecimal 023 E8A. Now the first of type, inside A, color would be hashtag 023 E8A, and the font weight would be 900. This CSS is same as the above UL. You can also copy that. Now we'll go to the top here, and what we'll do is we'll also give it a height of, not head, we'll give it a height of 30 viewport height. Then we'll align items center. We'll also give it a transition of 0.3 seconds is in out. Okay, that's done. Now we'll write top, and here comes the main logic. What we'll do is we'll write here state and based on the state we'll have our top position maintained. If it is true, then the top position would be 50 pixels, and this is going to be a string, and if it is false we have minus 400 pixels. Okay, something went wrong here. Yeah, that should be good. Now when we select here, you can see that our navbar is coming and going, but we have the transition here. Where did it go? Transition, yeah. We need to remove this. Yeah. Okay, our navbar is working perfectly, but whenever we click here, it is not moving to that section. Let's see that. href testimonials. We'll select any other. Yeah, it's working, but for testimonials it's not working. We need to see that. Okay, what's happening here? Testimonials, was it working without the responsive? Let's check it. Okay, the testimonials are not working. Let's go to the testimonials.jsx, and here, yeah, we didn't pass any ID here. We need to pass an ID. Testimonials, save it. Let's click it here. Yeah, that's working. Let's switch over to the responsive mode. It should work now. Testimonials, yeah, that's working. So our template is responsive ready now. You can see that. So now all that is left is to add animations to this template. So now for adding animations, we'll go to the app.jsx file. Here we'll import ScrollReveal here. ScrollReveal from ScrollReveal. Okay. Now we also need use effect hook, and we'll use it here. Use effect, the arrow function, and we'll supply an empty array. Now we'll write const sr is equals to ScrollReveal. We'll pass an object of origin of top. We'll give it a distance of 80 pixels. Also we'll give it a duration of 2000 milliseconds, and we'll supply reset to true. Save this, and now we'll write sr.reveal, and inside that we'll have the backticks, and we'll write nav. So this would select the nav tag. Now we'll select by ID. We already supplied all the IDs, so we'll write the hero, then we'll write the services, then we'll write the recommend, then we'll write the testimonials, and we'll write the footer at the last. And after this is completed, we'll write the comma and write opacity to 0. Okay, so we'll also pass interval of 300 milliseconds. Okay, that's done. Save this and let's open the browser. Okay, our animations are working. You can see that all the animations are working. Okay, so our template has been completed. Let me give you a demo of it again. We have hover effects here on this button. Then whenever we click this, we'll be going to that section. Then we have this input here. Then we have dates here. We have an hover effect here. This can be changed. Let me show you the responsive again. Also, we haven't explored the 4K version, so I'll show you that. So this is the 4K version. You can see that it is responsive in that also. We'll close this. Again, we'll open that and we'll go to the mobile version, and you can see that it is working perfectly. Also, we developed this navbar, this responsive navbar. We'll increase the size so you can see that it is responsive. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, and if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section below. Thank you.